Hey, this message goes out to all my chosen ones. Hey, look, all my brothers and all my sisters of Yah. I know you can feel the shift that is taking place. I know you can feel the change in the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? How people have become more heartless, you know what I'm saying? And more demonic. You know, you see that in all kinds of people. But as these days become more darker and more evil and wicked and demonic, you know what I'm saying? We got to adjust. You know what I'm saying? Because times are different. So we got to move different. You know, it says right here in Matthew 10:16, behold, I send you out as sheep in the midst of wolves. Therefore be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So at the same time as representing the Most High, you know what I'm saying? We got to go out there and be harmless as a dove, you know, representing the Most High. But at the same time, Most High didn't make a dummy. Most High put wisdom in us. You know what I'm saying? So we understand that regardless of what people try to do, we got to understand they're not going to play fair. You know, you got people are going to look at you like look like you green or something like that just because you live for the Most High. And they're going to think that, they think that we're stupid. So we got to understand to not trust people. We got to have that, we got to have our antennas up and always be on alert regardless of what people try to do, regardless of what people try to throw at you, because people will smile at you and they will snake you at the same time. They'll dap you up. And at the same time, they'll be looking for a spot, a soft spot to put that knife in your back. True story, life story. We got to understand that we're in a spiritual warfare. Nothing is fair right now. And it's not going to be. It's going to continue to get worse. But there's no need to fear because we have the creator of everything and everybody with us. And I always say that because it's vital that we understand that, we're not on this world side. We're not on the side of, the one who's going to lose. We're on the side of the one who has already proclaimed victory. He's already written that victory down. He's already got victory posted up in Revelation, talking about, how Satan is gonna get his. So everything that we go through understands for a reason. It may hurt. It may, and a lot of it does just going through life, but the more and more that we go through, the more and more hell and hurt that we go through in life, it makes it harder, you know what I'm saying, for anybody to get anything over on you, because when you go through different things, pain is not a bad thing sometimes, because it teaches you to not get comfortable in certain circumstances. And Yah takes us through that different pain like that to make us stronger in the long run. That pain may hurt us in the short term, but at the same time, we're learning a very, very valuable lesson. For one thing, don't trust people now. And I mean, if there's anybody in the world, you know what I'm saying, try to distance yourself as far as possible from them. And I'm saying and I'm talking about people who have their eyes, they got their blinders on, they're not thinking about anything that's spiritual, anything of trying to get close to the Most High. You got to use discernment more than anything now in this world, because people, just like you said in Matthew 10, you know what I'm saying? I'm sending you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. You're already dealing with ravenous wolves. You know what I'm saying? You already know that they're going to look at you like you're prey. So at the same time, you got to already know that they're thinking you know what I'm saying? They're thinking like you a sucker. So we gotta prove them wrong. And that's not to try to do any harm or anything to somebody. You stay out the way. Our weapon is prayer. You know what I'm saying? Our weapon is prayer. You know what I'm saying? Fasting. You know, talking to Yahuwah. You know, those scriptures. You know, just like it made Satan flee when he tried to come at Yahushua, you know what I'm saying, on the mountain, you know, trying to tempt him. You know, that word makes demons flee. That word makes the devil flee. You know, it makes the devil flee, so his kids ain't no different, you know. But always understand you are a child of the Most High Yah. You are special in his eyes. You know what I'm saying? So every day, knowing that you know that you're coming up under attack from the kingdom of darkness, this is just how it is. And I say this right here in hopes that, you know, hopes that somebody will, you know, it'll touch somebody just to know, you know, you got to get that, not only that thick skin, you know, and put on that full armor, because when you get, you know, when you go in there half stepping, you know, stuff happens, you know. So I just want everybody to know, stay focused on y'all in these last days. You know what I'm saying? We got to move different with everything, even dealing with people. You know what I'm saying? Just how, you know, we trust people, our associations, you know what I'm saying? Different things, different signs and stuff that we got to look for, you know, dealing with people. That, you know, your discernment is key. It may not, you know, you may not think it's a big deal, but discernment is key. It's the difference between life and death, you know, between stepping into a dangerous situation, you know what I'm saying, and making it out of that situation, or staying away from that situation. You know, even when it comes to, you know, and I advise everybody now, get ready for everything that's coming. As far as trying to, you know, grow your own food, just trying to stack, you know, stack any kind of canned goods or anything that you have like that, because we don't know what's coming. I mean, there's no need to fear or anything like that, but we don't know what's coming. You know what I'm saying? Get you some MREs, some military food, you know, something that's going to last, you know. Try to get you anything that you can to give you any kind of advantage as far as like food, water, supplies, anything like that, because we don't know what's coming. We don't know what Satan has in mind, you know, to try to afflict upon us, you know. But just like I said, there's no need to fear, because our creator is in charge. But at the same time, he gives us common sense, and you can see the writings on the wall in blood. You know what I'm saying? You can see the writings on the wall. You know, Babylon is falling all around. It's not just crumbling. It's man, it's down bad. You know, and everything is being exposed. So understand, we got to look out for ourselves. We got to look out for our family. You know, anybody, those around, and most of all, we got to stick together in these last days and look out for each other. My brothers and sisters of y'all, we got to do that, because we're in this together. Regardless of, you know, how much they try to separate us, no matter how they try to divide us, you know, we're in this together, because we're not following who they're following. You know, we're following the Most High Yah, you know, and he commands us to do certain things. You know, I love y'all, and I want everybody to stay safe. I want everybody to, you know, continue to stay ready, so you don't have to get ready. You know what I'm saying? Any kind of advantage you can get, anything that you can get, you know, even if you have to hit a pantry or something like that, you know what I'm saying? If you don't have it, anything helps, you know what I'm saying? Put some stuff back, you know, try to grow your own garden. Even if you in a apartment or a townhome or condo, something like that, you know what I'm saying? Try to use grow bags or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? It's probably for another video, because, you know, I ran out of time on this video, but I love y'all. Stay pushing for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Just remember, always just keep pushing for y'all until the casket drop. Those who endure to the end shall be saved. And times are different, so we got to move different. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all. Stay pushing for y'all until the casket drop on everything. Until next time, y'all willing? Peace.